everybody, and welcome to Thrashcast. And as usual, I'm accompanied by Ken, Thrashmaster Central, and we have our stand-in guest here, Mr. Jason DeVille from All Father Metal. So welcome back, Jason.
Thank you for having me, guys. I like that,
And
Thrashmaster. How about Thrashmaster Flash? I like
was
it.
thinking it's more of a rap name.
Yeah. That's your new name, Ken. Thrashmaster. It's hard to say. Thrashmaster Flash. Say that like 5 times quick.
Yeah, hey, it could be Flashmaster Fast, Flashmaster Thrash, and the Furious 3. Because one of the Furious
there you
5.
Go. Yeah. I love it.
So there you go. There you go. No, Jason's joining us again. And that's great. All Father Metal, Jason. You got what you got? You got anything coming up? I know there's some reviews and stuff coming up. What's new on there lately?
Yeah, we just had one of our contributors, Miles, out of Toronto. He just covered the Bruce Dickinson show in Toronto last night, 2 nights ago, I think. And then last night he also covered the Dragon Force and Powerwolf show.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So been a while. We had a bit of a drought there on live shows for covering shows, but I mean it was the festival season, so a lot of the bands were just doing the European festival thing. So I think now that more shows are picking up in the Toronto area, we should be having more content go up. And yeah, we got some reviews this week. I think, Jim, you reviewed one. What did you review again?
Wolfheart.
Yeah, Wolfheart, the new Wolfheart. That's right. Yeah. You gave it a nice, I won't spoil it, but you rated it well.
Oh man, it was a wicked album, and I want to get a copy of it. I've got the Draconian Darkness 1, so this is going to be the Draconian Darkness Part 2. It's only
an an EP too?
No, the first one last year was a full-length album.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
So thanks again, Jason, for joining us, and well, here we are on Thrashcast. Jason and Ken, they're like, we can talk about any metal really, but here we're heading into the thrash metal. So to start off, just a little bit of housekeeping, where you can find us. Just go on YouTube and just type in Thrashcast. We're on Horror Metal Sounds, so we'll come right up. All our episodes will come up. Definitely give us a like. Reach out to us, leave us a comment. I know Ken's on there all the time. I'm on there all the time. We're answering any sort of fan questions or anything. And give us some ideas on some thrash albums you may want us to cover, bands, whatever. Anything you like about the show, anything you'd like to see changed, whatever. We are always using this as a learning experience. You can also find us on Spotify. So if you're driving in your car or just maybe cheating at work with your headphones on, definitely listen to us on Spotify. And we're also found on Rumble. That's correct, Ken?
Yep.
Perfect.
Rumble, TikTok.
Yes, TikTok. Always forgetting about TikTok. That's right. So check us out. In our last episode, we did 2 weeks ago was on I guess the legendary albums, Celtic Frost, Cold Lake, and you got to check that one out. We had, a love, and now I'm warming up to it. You guys really changed my view on it, which is kind of cool. So I want to hunt down the album. I feel bad. I've never thrown away a tape before, and that one I did. And I don't, and now it's probably worth quite a bit of money.
Yeah. I think the cassette does go for a couple $100.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know, I guess, but what I like about it was we were able to break down the songs as we do, and I kind of I've definitely been spinning a couple of the tracks that I really do like. So you guys got me more into it, and the next time I comment online, I will definitely give it a little bit. The only song though, Cherry Orchard.
Oh, the best song. Come on.
I can't get into that one, but the rest I'll always give it a positive mention. So thanks guys for opening my eyes and my ears.
Yeah,
thank you.
Anytime, buddy.
Yeah. So tonight, obviously, behind Jason, you see Death Angel. Ken's wearing the Thrashcast shirt. So I mean, you can't talk about thrash without talking about Death Angel. And tonight we're going to be heading into some Act 3, 1990 territory. But before we do that, so what do you guys, Ken, why don't you start us off with any news or anything that you're spinning?
there's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
I did watch. John Bush was interviewed by Pete Pardo on Sea of Tranquility. So I
Yes.
watched that interview. It was good what he had to say. He was talking about the new album. There is a brand new Armored Saint album coming out, which is pretty good. Next April, I think it's coming out. They have 11 new songs. That's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 albums that they've been putting out are all pretty solid albums, all pretty good metal albums. But he was talking about a few things which I thought was interesting. He's also going to be going on tour with Category 7, and he did say that they're going to be singing Anthrax songs.
Yes.
Songs. So I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. So in addition to the album, they're going to be singing, I guess, Bush Anthrax songs. So I thought that's kind of interesting. And I guess apparently the band's okay with him singing the songs live. So that should be kind of a neat little thing. I don't have that album. I think Jim, you reviewed it, did you not? Category 7?
Yeah. No, Category 7. I can't remember.
I thought you reviewed it.
It's not. I hate to say it, but I think it'll be cool. For me, the draw would be the Anthrax. I mean, I came up with it's funny you brought this up because I still have written down just some ideas. Like, obviously, I would love to have the whole album of Sound the White Noise played from front to back. But I think I picked a song or two off of, what did he do? 4 albums?
4 albums, yeah.
Yeah, so I picked Invisible, because all the hits you're going to do anyways off of Zone. Riding Shotgun, Born Again Idiot, and Nobody Knows Anything. And I doodled these like a month ago when I found this out, and I just was like, oh yeah, it's cool you brought that up.
Yeah, he mentioned it in the interview, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So he's dusting off the old Anthrax tunes. He said he's really getting into it. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Cool.
They're also they're doing a short trip with Wasp in Europe coming up, and it's the 40th anniversary to Delirious Nomad. So apparently, they're going to do like a micro set of that. So they're going to play like 4 or 5 songs from the album, which is pretty cool. I like that album. Delirious
Love it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good album. So I thought that was quite interesting. And the only other thing that I heard just recently, I saw the new song from Coroner, the song Symmetry.
Yeah.
It was okay. It's not too bad. It's a little underwhelming. The 2 songs I've heard are all right. I was hoping for a bit more, but maybe the Layoff, I don't know. Not too sure, but yeah, it was all right. But that's about all I have for this week.
Cool. Jason, you got any news or anything that you've kind of got into over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I got the promo for the new or the coming Sausage Shish Kebab album. So which is, I don't know how to say it, Sanguiza Sangwaza Gagabaga.
Yeah.
You know who I mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I've been spinning that quite a bit to review it. It's super awesome, old school death metal sounding.
Yeah.
I think they're probably one of the premier kind of new generation of death metal bands, paying homage to old school death metal in a really timeless way. So this new album, I think, is going to blow a lot of people away. It sounds like them, but it also has a lot of nods to some really cool shit from back in the day. So I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
Oh, no, that's wicked. I love those guys. Yeah.
They're great.
And apart from that's it. Like, other than that, I've just been working and listening to Sanguiza Sausage Kebab.
I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah, me neither.
And the logo looks like a pile of sticks, so that's we'll just call it pile of sticks.
The most indecipherable logo ever.
Yeah.
And the most unpronounceable name ever.
Yeah.
So they're doing something right.
Well,
it probably means something like a whale's vagina or something like that.
Yeah.
We did forget about the passing of Thomas Lindbergh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's a big
pretty
one.
sad.
Yeah.
That's
jeez. Terrible.
And he was only...
Like what's that, Jason?
I think he was he like 52 or...
52?
52.
Yeah.
But he was on the mend, apparently. They were all kind of thinking he was on the mend from the cancer, and then he died of complications from it, so which is kind of sad.
Terrible.
Yeah. I wonder what the band's going to get up to now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, At the Gates is not At the Gates without Thomas.
No.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
I feel like they're one of those bands though that everybody would rally behind, and they would
Yes.
have, if there was a tour, there'd be multiple vocalists coming in to pay homage to him. So I could see that
Okay.
working. Maybe not another studio album, but touring might be
Well,
cool.
they actually do have another studio album coming out. He completed the recording of it before dying.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, apparently before he went into surgery, he sang all the songs in one day.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was like one take, one full day in the studio. So yeah,
This is while he was sick too?
yeah, before he
Yeah.
went back in for surgery. And so he did record. So apparently he said that they recorded the album's done.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
will be coming out posthumously, of course.
Yes.
But yeah,
Wow.
so
Well,
that's something to remember.
Yeah, at least there's a swan song.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, that was bad news for sure. I totally kind of missed that one. But yeah, that blew me away. Ken, I think you wrote it on lot. You kind of hit us up with it there, like, oh my God, like it just came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it in the morning. I'm like, what do you mean he's dead? And like, what? I knew he was sick, but I was like, from what I'd read, I always heard that he was on the mend and he was actually doing well because because I know Billy was saying they were gonna be going, I think they're at 70, was it 70K?
Yeah.
And so they were going back out on the road to sing. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, play live, but yes, that's not happening.
No.
I guess you just never know. Yeah.
Very true.
So I picked up, I don't really have much news. You guys kind of hit it all, but I picked up a couple of things. This one here, which I did do a review on for All Father, Halloween, Giants and Monsters. I don't believe, did I put this on last show? I don't think I did.
No.
No,
I
I
don't
just
think you
got
did.
it because holy cow, this was hard to get a hold of, man. Like this is like an RPM release, so I find they're hard to get in North America. I don't think there's a North American distributor for it. So like I think I got this. Oh, I got this at the record store. A guy actually got it in for me. He only got one copy, but I ended up paying like $27 for it. But man, online, it's 39 plus Canadian on like Amazon, Amazon CA. So, and I wanted it so bad because I would collect all the Halloween stuff, and and I know the artwork here is getting a lot of kind of people don't necessarily like it. I think it's great.
Oh, it's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Same artist who did Hate Uber Alice for Creator, its last album.
Yes.
And it's got, I don't know what it's called there, Ken, but it's got kind of that, it's like you said it, I think I brought it up there. You said it's got that kind of blurry kind of artistic look to it, and you said it was
it has a very overly painted style, but that artist has that kind of style with his work.
Yeah,
I like the artist. The artist is really good. He's really talented.
Oh, it's really good. I think it's probably better than the last album, although I did like the last album. But this year is going to be in my top 15. And it's an amazing album. I suggest people, if you can find it, pick it up. The next one I got was kind of one that is possibly going to make my top 15. This one's a neat one that I don't know much about. This is Entrails.
I love this band.
Yeah, and I got it, and it's a 2025 release. And this one here is called... Grip of Ancient Evil, and it's Swedish death metal band. Really, really cool. Good brutality. Like I like it, but very accessible. I would say, like if somebody was gonna try to dip their toe in the death metal genre, these guys would be pretty cool to do that with. There's some parts of it's quite melodic. The vocals are harsh, but there are some clean vocals in it. But great band. There's some great tracks on here. Consumed by Insects, Inner Demon, Hunting. I've been spinning this like crazy, and really, really, really cool band, cool records.
Well, here's a tip for you: that this band is as old as Entombed.
Yeah,
they were around when Entombed started.
Oh, okay.
But apparently they formed a band. Then they kind of disbanded, and then I guess they reformed years later. But they sound like in tune, more or less, to me.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that was probably one of their, one of their main focuses back then would be, but really, really cool. And it kind of came out of nowhere. Otherwise, I probably would have reviewed it, but I didn't. I'm pretty sure it's a 2025 release, but it kind of, like I say, it came out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" So it came up on my feed, so I listened to it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this." Ordered it, and away I went.
They're a really good band.
Yeah, I think it came out like last winter or spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit. You're right, Jay.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. So, anyways, that's what I've got. So we'll kind of crack right into it and get into the questions here. Just a couple of quick questions. I know we've done some Death Angel albums before, so I mean, sometimes these questions kind of come up, but where we've got Jason on here, I wanted to get I know we've talked about the whole Kerry King project as well, but I just wanted to get maybe some different viewpoints on it. But the first question, and Jason, we'll start with you. It says, that it's a 10-year hiatus between albums, but it's actually 14 years. After Act 3 to the release of the 2004 album, The Art of Dying, which is another fantastic album. What do you think? Do you think it was smart that they, sometimes I think, in this situation, they kind of jumped over almost the whole kind of grunge area, the grunge era, and that sort of thing. And I mean, was it smart to not put anything out in that time frame? Or do you guys think they should have? I mean, my worry is they would have gone in maybe a different direction, like a lot of bands did in the early 90s, like after 92. Or and then they come back with such a killer album. Jason, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think unfortunately the bus crash, cut off their momentum at exactly the wrong time, which was, super unfortunate. Had they powered through that adversity, they probably wouldn't have been big in the grunge era. But I think the one thing Death Angel had going for it that maybe some of the other big whatever thrash bands of the time was their versatility. And unlike maybe Exodus or Slayer or some of these other bands, the versatility that Death Angel, especially in Act 3, might have helped them pivot into something that kept them a bit more relevant instead of going silent for a decade. I mean, essentially, they became the organization, right?
Yes.
And I think 93.
Then the Swarm.
What's that?
Then they became the Swarm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Swarm.
So they never stopped making music.
Yeah, so they were already, post breakup, they were blending alt metal, funk, and rock with, both those projects. I think, if we were to think about like an alternate history, if the band had stayed together, I feel like they would have maybe started experimenting more with the groove heavy funk stuff that you can hear in Act 3, maybe more along the lines of Faith No More, The Real Thing, or even Suicidal Tendencies or Infectious Grooves. Mark might have done some more melodic type singing, but still with maybe some thrash undercurrents. So I mean, look at Metallica, they softened their sound. While Anthrax and Megadeth and Exodus experimented with alternative influences. But I think had Death Angel kept it together, they probably would have weathered the 90s a bit more aptly than some of the other thrash bands at the time, just because I think their sound kind of dictated that they could go that route.
Wicked. What's your thoughts, Ken?
Well, I sort of agree, but then I also feel like you have to realize they were kids.
Yeah.
When they started this. I mean, Andy was 18 years old when Act 3 came out. So these kids, they're kids still learning, I guess, how to apply their trade, and they're evolving. So even though that they stopped Death Angel, to me they've never stopped as musicians.
True.
And organizations proof of that. I like the Swarm. I think that's pretty solid stuff. So they technically never really disappeared. They just stopped making music under the Death Angel moniker for, okay, that 14 years.
Yeah.
But they've all active. They're all still incredibly active musicians.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I look at it from a different perspective. I kind of see it as, well, you take a break, you still evolve, and then you come back to the sound. And when they did come back, it's pretty good. Like, it's really solid metal. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe they needed that break. I mean, I know the bus crash was terrible, and I know it shook up Andy, because Andy is one of the creative forces in that band next to Rob. Those, like, the kid's 18. He's mixing this album. He writes a lot of the lyrics and music. I mean, the guy I think he's like for 18. That's incredible. Nobody's doing that stuff at that time. I can't think of another musician that young with that kind of maturity. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But they're back, and that's all that counts, right?
Yeah. And I mean, so that leads me to my second question, which they're kind of always had the moniker of probably being the most consistent thrash band through their career. Like, I can't think of any, like, for me, I'm a huge fan, so I can't think of any downs. I love all their albums. And I mean, I got to be honest, I picked up the Bastard tracks, which was the one they did during COVID, where they did the live show through online, through streaming online, and they did more of tracks that aren't the well-known tracks, which was really cool. I thought that was great. But I think this band is amazing. And do you think they're that consistently good?
I think they're all right. The modern stuff is interesting. My only problem with the modern stuff is that this is just for me, and I can say this, apply this to Destruction as well. A lot of modern thrash bands now, there's a more of a homogenized sound, and you go, like, even Testament has the same issue at times.
True.
You start getting the same sound, and it's like, okay, I heard this already. I heard this. I'm not shitting on the sound. I'm just saying that I find a lot of modern thrash bands, it's all homogenized, and it starts to blend from album to album. That's just my opinion. But I think they're consistent. If you want, like, a consistent band, they are that, for sure.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. My only problem now with this band is it's only, like, well, Will Carroll's in the band on drums. Damien Sisson's in the band. Like, everyone in the band, it's not really that kind of special Filipino all family thing now. So it's too bad that Andy wouldn't come back. I think Gus retired from music. One of them retired.
Yeah.
It's Gus. Or is it Gus or Dennis? One of them is retired entirely now from music. But yeah, it's not the family affair thing how it used to be. So I don't mind the modern stuff, but I kind of feel after a while, okay, you sort of get it after album. So maybe that's the reason why Mark decided to jump, well, not jump ship, but why he decided to join Kerry King for that reason. Is something different. You change it up a little bit, like you're doing something else. I don't know. But I like the modern stuff. I own all the albums too. I buy all their albums when they come out. But but I'm like, I just find, for me in general, modern thrash is pretty homogenized all across the board for a lot of bands. So that's where I kind of lump them. But
well, I know you feel that way about Destruction's latest album.
I do, yeah.
But I'll be on. This is Sodom's new album. Whoa! Right now, that's either my one or two. Yeah.
Yeah, the last album was great. I reviewed it for All Father. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's a cool album. But I'm just saying, in general, I find that a lot of these thrash bands that I grew up with, the sound is a bit homogenized. You hear it a lot. I like it when bands break it. That's why I'm hoping the New Testament, I hope to God they break that style and give us something.
And Anthrax.
Yeah, Anthrax too. Yeah, Anthrax is pretty steady, but I don't know. It's just what I noticed with some of these bands overall.
What's your thoughts, Jason, on them kind of having that moniker as one of the most consistent, thrash bands out there?
When I think of consistent, I don't think of Death Angel. I think of Overkill.
Good point.
Good one.
I'm going to agree with Ken here. I'm not a fan at all of any of their Act Three. I'm not that you're not a fan, Ken. I'm just saying I'm not a
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
of
No, I
the
get you.
anything from post Act Three. I didn't like The Art of Dying. I thought it was a weird album, a bit too heavy
Oh,
on
what about the Evil
punk.
Divide?
I don't like
I like that
Retribution
one.
or Evil Divide. I
Oh
think
man,
it sticks too closely with the modern thrash formula that Ken was talking about and kind of
Yeah.
ignores the genre blending experimentation that made Act Three so fucking good.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that really disappointed me. I want my Ultra Violence Death Angel. I want my Act Three Death Angel. And we're just not getting that anymore. Like Ken said, I think we're just getting that modern that formula that all these thrash bands from back in the day who, were used to experimenting and who would experiment and experimented well, just not doing it anymore. I think they're great musicians. I think they're
Yeah.
writing great material for those who love it, but it's just not for me.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Well, then we'll
I did,
stick with you, Jason. What's your thoughts on like? I was a huge fan of the Kerry King solo album too. So I usually buck the trend of everything because I'm like I got kind of a mixed reviews online. But what's your thoughts on? Can you see like I got to see Death Angel not live but streaming on their Christmas show that they do every year, which is kind of really cool. Unfortunately, they're not streaming it this year. And then I got to see a couple of bands open for them, which was great. But I think they still like live. They were just fantastic. But what's your thoughts on like Mark with the Kerry King solo project? Like, I know he's working on a new album. So do you see Death Angel sort of? I mean, Death Angel had a single out, so there's probably a new album coming there. But where do you see the divide happening? I mean, I think Kerry
Yeah.
King's a little bit more heading up. Like, what's your thoughts?
Well, let me preface this first by saying I'm not a Kerry King fan as a songwriter. I'm a Jeff
I'm with you
Hanneman
there.
fan.
Yeah,
I don't like Kerry King's Slayer contributions at all, and I don't like the Kerry King project because of that. I think it stinks, and I'm sorry, Jim. I know you said you love it,
love
but
it.
that's just me. You're either on the Jeff Hanneman or the Kerry King, or you like them both. But I'm
Oh, I
Jeff
like them
Hanneman
both.
by heart.
Same here. I'm a
So
Hanneman.
yeah, I think that I think if Mark is pegged as a vocalist again, within if they're doing another album, you say they're
Mhm.
doing another KK album, I think it's going to be a problem with the DA guys because it's
Yeah,
already a problem, and
Yes.
that rift is going to grow. I mean, I think it's not
Yes.
worth it in my opinion. Even though I'm not a fan of contemporary DA, there's still a chance we might get a return to the sound of Act Three at some point. And for Mark to piss that away possibly with KKK's second-rate Slayer garbage is not worth it in my opinion. Um, I just I I don't know how he could fuck his brothers that way.
yeah,
And I I obviously it's about money because
Yeah. It's a paycheck.
it's a paycheck and Death Angel's probably not paying the bills at this point. And Kerry
No.
King is definitely paying the bills. So I
Mhm.
get why he's doing it,
Yeah.
but I also think it's a bit of a stab in the back and I just don't think it's worth it.
What's your thoughts? Ken already know what you think of the Kerry King album.
Well, I don't hate the album,
Yeah, I know.
but I'm like Jason. I was more of a fan of Jeff Hanneman. I think he was a brilliant songwriter,
Yeah,
and he had the strongest Slayer songs in my mind over Kerry King. Kerry King is all right, but yeah, I agree with Jason. It's like you're like come on, like dude, like these are your brothers. You're walking
yeah,
away, and I know there was already a riff. They've already had a couple beefs because I know Will Carroll and Damien Sisson were already complaining, and that rightfully so. I'm surprised even Rob hasn't come out and made a large complaint because it just doesn't make sense to do that. But it's a paycheck, and I know there will be another Kerry King album for sure. They've already said that. They've confirmed it, and they're
yeah.
going to go back out on tour. But I agree. I think Death Angel, it's very disrespectful. But I'm not
And
going to.
it's sad. It's sad because Death Angel's a hardworking band. They had to cancel
Yes.
their tour with Wasp, which I didn't see as a great fit because I think you know I just didn't think it was a great fit, but he had to cancel it because he's gone out with Kerry King. And Kerry King, I mean, I like Kerry King, but I can see why. I think his attitude and his sort of standoffishness doesn't help his situation a lot because he comes off like a dick. But I like the fact that this guy gets this band together, and I mean that's an all-star band of like great players. So I mean he's handpicked some great guys, and then he goes out, they're opening, and then all of a sudden headlining, and he's headlining, and he in Toronto and Montreal, I know he played there, he did really well with attendance, and it's just going to grow and grow because a lot of people are going for the Slayer songs that he's playing as well, and he did increase on his set list a few of his originals off his first album, but also sung a ton of Slayer, which everybody's waiting for too.
We should do a Change My Mind for the Kerry King album.
Yeah, so that would be good.
Yeah,
Change my mind.
We got you on the CF. You got to get us on the KK, man.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I love the album. I love the album because I think it gives me those Slayer vibes. And everybody says to me when I argue online, they're like, well, if you want Slayer, you listen to Slayer. Yeah, I know, but Slayer's not putting out anything new. So, and I love every Slayer album, even Diabolus, even like a lot of the albums that a lot of people were, I love it. And I defend them to the death. I mean, my favorite Slayer album of all time is South of Heaven, but it only beats the classics. Like these classic Slayer albums are point of a point. I mean, Hell Awaits a fantastic album. Show No Mercy, Seasons, Rain and Blood. But I love all the newer Slayer stuff, World Painted Blood and all that stuff.
You like Repentless?
Sorry?
You like Repentless?
I love Repentless.
I fucking hate that album to death.
I just gave it a really good rating. I think I called it a masterpiece online. So, I love it. And, but I mean, I think people need, I don't know. I feel bad because for the Death Angel camp, such a big fan, I couldn't see how you turn your back on your band and on your brothers either.
And here's the thing, like if this does go the way I think it's going to go, and Mark just ends up not a part of Death Angel anymore, can the band even continue? Like, I don't think so either, and that would be sad.
It is sad.
So
he's the voice of the band, right? I mean, that's who you hear. I can't.
I mean, okay, he's the voice of the band, but we said the same thing about Joey, and we got
fair enough.
So, but Anthrax took it a bit of a different direction with
yes, it's not the same band.
No. You're right. And they did on the three out of the four albums, they kind of took it on the chin a bit because like I know Ken's not a huge fan of the Bush era Anthrax. Sown, I think I labeled as my second. You like it, but I mean, definitely when you saw them doing, I can't remember what song it was they did on Arsenio Hall. They did one of the songs off of Sown, and then they did one of the classic songs. It did not sound the same. It sounded more like a rock song, than a thrash song.
Yeah,
No, I've seen Bush twice with them live when he was in the band, and to be honest, the live shows were good.
Yeah,
like they were decent, but I don't know. To me, it's Joey's the voice that I'm grew up with. But I always give John props for being in the band. He did his thing, and I loved Armored Saint. I mean, classic Armored Saint. Whoa, you can't beat that. But it is what it is, right? It happened.
Thank fuck Metallica didn't get him.
That's right. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, Jason, you're right about that.
Jesus Christ.
When they tried to court him in the beginning, and then he was already insane. Like, why would he want to leave Saint when they were starting out to join Metallica?
Yeah. Not that he's a bad vocalist, but imagine Metallica with Bush. I
don't think it would work with Bush, but
no.
But I agree, Ken. I think that him being able to do his Anthrax era stuff for the first time, this is going to be so cool, man. Hopefully they'll do I can't wait to see it. There'll be some, it's going to be all over YouTube. It's going to sound so cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Well, some good questions there, guys, and some food for thought. But it's sad too that Death Angel, when they hit and we're going to talk about the album Act 3 here. That was released, their only release on Geffen Records. So as Jason was saying, they come out with the Ultraviolence, which is a brutal thrash album, absolutely amazing. I love that 10-minute that 10-minute instrumental, the Ultraviolence, one of my favorites.
So good. Yeah.
Second album, kind of a little bit different, but a
Oh, I
twist
love
on
the
it,
second
Frolic
album.
Through the Park, and I love it.
I love that album. That album.
Same with me.
That song, Bored. I love Bored. It's one of my
That video. Fucking love that video too.
Yeah, that video is great. Yeah, I love Frolic. Frolic is different, but I still love it. When I heard that song, Bored, holy shit, I love that.
Blew me away. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they get signed to Geffen Records, and they have this, I would say, which is obviously the apex of their career with Act 3, which not only did it do well with sales, singles, videos, and everything, it did super well. So it's getting some mainstream play. It did super well, like with all the reviewers gave it such high reviews. They were 9s and 10s out there saying that this was like just breaking so much. And we're going to get into it song by song. The singles, Seemingly Endless Time, A Room with a View. This was produced by Max Norman, and anybody who's like cut their teeth on any sort of metal would know the first, 4 Aussie records, Diary, you've got Blizzard, you've got Speak of the Devil, you've got, I think Bark at the Moon was done, so produced by him. You've got him doing Euthanasia for Megadeth. You've got him doing so many projects. So really, they kind of had the A-list kind of laid out for this. And just to go through the lineup at the time, he had Marcus Sega at vocals, obviously, Rob Kazastan lead guitar, Gus Peppa on rhythm, Dennis Peppa bass, and Andy Gallion on drums. I mean, just a tight unit. And when you think about them back then on these first 3 albums, and then you think about what they're going through now with Mark sort of kind of splitting his duties between Kerry King's project and this, I felt like he mentioned during the live show that like a lot of people are saying, I'm screwing my brothers over, and he kind of brought it like the elephant in the room early in the show. But I don't know, just watching them, it just made me feel kind of like, why are you like the Kerry King thing should be second fiddle. I know that it's more money and it's going to even get bigger, but to be honest with you, this is, and you, like you say, you don't turn your back on your brothers, especially, and now they're going to be touring for the whole, they're playing all of Act 3. So that's cool. So they're going out on the road. Yeah. So that's really, really cool. So, but anyways, we'll get into the album here and start with Jason. Why don't we start with Seemingly Endless Time, track 1. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, it had been a while since I listened to this album, I'll be honest. I loved it back in the day, like bought it new in 90 and spun the hell out of it for a very, very long time. Then, as always, things kind of drift away for a bit, but came back to it recently, knowing we would do this. So it'd been a while, been a few years since I heard this album. So initially I just was like, I can't help but hearing Anthrax's Persistence of Time all over this track.
Yeah.
That sort of darker vibe of that album, I think, bleeds into this one as well. The main riff definitely has a bop to it. It's much more groove oriented. The riff, actually, that main riff in the song reminds me of, I was listening the other day and I'm like, this sounds like Helmet's, something from Helmet's Meantime. And I'm a huge Helmet fan. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I got sidetracked and I just went and listened to Meantime. And then there's that really quick little solo fill at 2:32, which is just classic for the time, like late 80s, early 90s, just like a little, which you don't get today in thrash. So I love that it has those kind of little interesting fills. And I think this track, listening to it now, I would say it was probably ahead of its time. Strays slightly out of thrash territory. There's some harmonies in there and shit going on that remind me of I don't know, later metalcore type stuff, like maybe some Shadows Fall type stuff. There's some really cool, and I know Ken's a big fan of Shadows Fall, and I am too, but I do hear something here that rings to like 2000s metalcore. I don't know what it is. Maybe, like I said, maybe they were just ahead of their time, or something was taken from the sound at some point by those bands. But yeah, I love this song. It's one of my favorite on the album. A great
Well, I
song,
think
great song to start.
I think that's a great point, because I think where you're saying it's ahead of its time, even the whole album is. I think this is why they picked up so many more mainstream metal fans rather than just, thrash fans like ourselves. They were able to have that balance where they didn't piss off their old school listeners. I mean, 2 albums earlier, and then picked up this whole new fan base. And maybe they had some sort of weird, the way things were going. That's why I would have loved maybe an album by about 1994 to see where they would have gone with it. I'm thinking of, like, I would like to think in my mind it would be an Act 3 Part 2, very similar vibe and sound. But my number one thing is this has a wicked chug in it, and it's got full of an Anthrax vibe. And there's a couple of songs on here that have that, and it's pretty cool. But Ken, what's your thoughts on the first track?
Well, I think you're both right. I mean, Jason, the shadows fall. That's interesting. I didn't think about that, but now that you bring it up, I'm like, yeah, I could kind of see some of that beforehand. I could see that. The Anthrax is the one thing I'll say that, yeah, there's a lot of Anthrax vibe in this whole record. It's got the Anthrax chug, but they do it sparingly. They don't overwhelm you on the songs. Like you get, and then it slows down. A lot of breakdowns, a lot of interesting moments. Like this song alone, to me, with the chugs, and then you get that quick pace, you get some groove. There's a lot of meat in the bones here for the riff. I like the solo is really good too.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's so lofty because it opens up with the crashing of the waves, and it's like, all right, here we go, and then you get this like a lot of introspective lyrics, because they're talking about existence, the idea of sorrow, the idea of like you're feeling adrift and disconnected. So yeah, it's like for them, it's a new thing because they didn't really write that kind of a song on the first 2 albums. It was all about death, destruction, and like there was really hardcore shit. Here it's like, okay, we're gonna pull back the veil, and I know there's a song later on with that, but yeah, it's unique. I think the song is great. I like the song quite a bit actually.
Yeah, that 2 minute at the 2 minute mark, that guitar solo is amazing. And you're right about the Anthrax, where we pick it up with our ears, like we're listening to it and we're like, whoa, but then it it kind of goes. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I listed this as a cutting edge thrash song for the time. So you think in 1990s, what thrash was coming out? I mean, one of my favorite thrash albums of all time, Rust in Peace, came out. So this was so different than that. That was more traditional, but taking it to another level. This was more cutting edge. There was something different about it. And I'll have to revisit the Shadow. The Jason's got it in my mind now with the Shadow Falls sort of similarities. And I think that's because I like 2000s grind. I like, I think that's probably what I'm attracted to on this album. But at and remember when this came out, I was only like 19, I think. Yeah, 19 years old. So just like, and this 90 was such a big year for thrash and a big year for metal. So many landmark albums. So I think this was definitely cutting edge. Ken, what's your take on Stop, number 2 there, track 2?
Yeah, this is it's another really good. It's a barn burner of a song. Like it storms out of the gate. There's a really nice chunky pace to it. And then at 41 seconds, you get the first tempo change, which is great. And then the chorus is what I really like about the song mostly. It's just memorable.
Yeah.
And Rob's a really good lyricist, and he's good with the music. So I mean, he's one of the prime forces behind this band. He and Andy are the 2 main, I guess, songwriters of this album. But it's great. There's a breakdown, which at 240, which I like, and then it sets up, and it goes back into this blistering solo, which is so great. And then you get these really, really good lyrics. I love the fact that it's all about, you're talking about manipulation. You're talking about all this idea of like, what is pain, what is the truth. Like these lyrics get really deep, which is what I like about it. And the whole point about Stop it's a metaphor. It's like a wake up call kind of thing. It's talking about societal issues, and it's getting about personal relationships and inner struggle. I think it's great. They throw all that into a song and they make it work. And it's another great song. You get number one, you get number two. You're starting off the album on a really good note.
And you know what, Ken, it's very kind of reminiscent of the fact of what's going on in the world today. Like these deep lyrics.
Yeah, you can say that. It's very topical still for the time frame.
Jason, what's your thoughts on Stop? And remember, this is Mark's only writing credit, I think, on this album. Yeah.
Oh, he's got two. He's got
two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Ken. It's a killer song. I love the chugging, galloping vibe to it. I think as I was listening, I'm like, it reminded me in parts of Master of Puppets and Justice for All, some of the riffs. Speaking of the Anthrax, there's a bit of a Among the Living vibe going on with this track too. Lots of really cool, wacky, off-kilter time shifts, and again, another song that as we'll get later on in some of the tracks, I think this is the first real kind of experimental one thus far on the album. But things do get wackier from here on out, in a good way, I should say. So please don't stop, Death Angel. Keep it going.
Jason, do you think, like, for me, I mean, I'm not a musician, so I kind of get the feeling it's almost like the first half of the song, they're transitioning the listener, how I read it, into kind of something different that's coming. And maybe the back end of the song, it's almost like two songs in one for me, where the back end of the song is kind of like way different. And it's almost kind of leading into the next song and where the direction of the album might be going.
Yeah, I think maybe this was, I don't know if this was their intention, but maybe it was a way to ease the thrash listener, typical thrash listener of the time, into something a little more experimental that was coming for the rest of the album. So you have seemingly, and then which was, just essentially a straight up thrash song. And then this one, as you mentioned, the first half, similar, but then the last half portends to kind of what was to come. So yeah, that could be very well the intention there, easing the listener in.
Speaking of what was to come, Jason, continue along into Veil of Deception, track 3.
Yeah, I mean, again, listening back, and I never picked up on this way back in the day, but Mark here has a Geddy Lee thing going on.
Yeah.
At points. And I don't know if it's the inflection of the words, like of the way he's singing the words, or if there's actually, if it's a tonal thing, but at points I'm like, holy shit, is that Geddy singing Death Angel? So for me, it had a kind, and even the music, there was a bit of an old school Rush influence in there. But at the same time, it was mixed with kind of this, I don't know, big over the top Empire era sounding Queensryche. Like it's really cool, the dichotomy there. Like you got the old school Rush mixed with this kind of pompous Queensryche sounding stuff. And then you have that killer flamenco Spanish thing going on, which makes a lot of sense in the song, that really take things in a different direction. And perhaps I think the only flaw to this track is its length, because I wanted to hear more and would have loved to if they had taken this song into heavier territory towards the end of it. I do like the song overall, but as cool as it was, I was just waiting for that, like, fucking, that heaviness to come, and it kind of didn't come, but it's still a really great song nonetheless.
Yeah, it's funny you brought up Rush. I brought up Deep Purple and said the song gives me sort of a 70s vibe.
Yeah, like, I guess 70s overall, right?
Yeah. And I think more musically than vocally for a Deep Purple vibe for me, maybe a Ritchie Blackmore on guitar kind of thing. But yeah, no, that's wicked. Ken, what's your thoughts? You had already mentioned the song earlier. They pull back the veil.
Yeah, well, again, like it's I guess it's the closest thing to a ballad for sure. It's interesting. It's an interesting song. Like the acoustic parts in the opening are really good. Yeah, and Jason, that's a really good point that you brought up about the vocals. It's like, yeah, I could kind of see that. I think there is somewhat of a Rush influence here. I don't know if it's like if they were conscious of it, but you can hear it, like just and the song arrangements, the way that the breakdowns happen. and how they throw in like a moment like this with the flamenco guitar, which is
Yeah.
kind of a little out of place, but they make it work. At least I think in the song. And there's a lot of maturity here too. I think the vocals are really good. I love the sound of it. I mean, yeah, there's no really like chugs or speedy riffs, but that's okay. I mean, you get a bit of a break. But I love but the chorus is really good too. The whole veil of deception, and I just love the way he sings that part of the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's a really good. I guess it's a song that would throw you for a loop if you heard it. Like, what is this? But I don't know. For me, it's one of those songs where it just works.
Yeah, and not a bad loop. Like when I put on Load for the first time, I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? But this, for some reason, I totally embraced this album. And, when I think back to me being younger then, and then listening to Load after this, I was like, hated it so much, but yet it's not much of a difference. It's more alternatively, they took it a little different direction, but this still, compared to the first two albums, could have easily done that. But for some reason, I gave them a pass on it. And I love that. Another part of the song I love too is that, I don't know if you call it a backing vocal, but like a dual vocal that tends to happen. I don't know if that's Mark or if it's Mark and somebody else, because it kind of happens. I don't know if that's a mix or what.
Oh, you mean the harmonized background?
Yeah.
Vocals? Yeah. That's something I picked out too when I was listening to it. It gives the song a bit of added dimension.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know who was singing the background vocals there.
So Ken, we'll continue with The Organization, and I got to admit, I love that Enter the Organization. The chorus part of it is so cool. But go ahead there, Ken.
Yeah, well, the song is like full of piss and vinegar, right? Because the whole point of the lyrical side is that they're commenting on the music industry and how they feel like they've been manipulated and used and told to do this and told to do that. So it's kind of a song where, yeah, a lot of bands would sing about their time in the music industry, and I'm sure that being young kids, they were probably like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, blah blah blah. They didn't have the maturity level at the time, but this song has a lot of fire to it. It's another good thrash song with a really good pace. Like, I love how Andy leads it off, and it just kicks in with that first big major riff. 38 seconds in, and the pace just goes. It's a really good song. I love the chorus. Like you said, Jim, that Enter the Organization is great. And ironically, this is the name of the next band. So which is weird that you get this song. And Andy actually wrote the lyrics, and he co-wrote the music with Rob. So you could see where the two main, I guess the two main influences in the band are in a song like this. It's great. I love the tempo changes here. There's a lot of that. 4 minutes in, it gets some really meaty riffing going on. This is a really good song all the way through.
And Jason, what's your think? The Organization, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoy this track quite a lot. It for me, it mixed two worlds, not unlike the last song, but it definitely had a more traditional sounding, I don't know, new wave of British heavy metal thing going on at points. I was even hearing some Thin Lizzy like riffing at some points in the song, yet at the same time it has some super killer thrash moments, especially at a minute 23 there, when it's just that lone guitar with the tremolo picking. That was fucking cool. That was really, really, really cool. So yeah, another song that kind of mixes it up, yet retains kind of the Death Angel that we know. So perfect track for kind of the middle of the album here.
What at 123, I was going to ask you this. What is that picking?
That's just tremolo picking, like really fast.
Tremolo,
Okay.
Yeah. Similar to black metal type riffing.
Okay.
It's got that doomy. It's got a really nice doomy vibe there for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. It just gives the song a little bit, oomph.
Yeah. I love this song too, and probably one of my top two songs on the album. But Jason, you're going to take us into number 5 here, Discontinued, which is quite, we're starting to really kind of veer off a little bit here. So take it away.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let me preface this by saying I'm not a fan of funk in my metal, but when Death Angel does it, for some reason, I fucking love it.
Exactly.
And Suicidal, when Suicidal does it. So yeah, obviously heavily influenced by funk metal of the time, kind of like Mordred and Mind Funk and Infectious Grooves. The really cool thing is that there's still some killer gang shouts interspersed throughout the song, which keeps it rooted to like some early late 80s, early 90s thrash. The bass slaps like Primus. There's also some riffing in here that, I don't know where this shit is coming from, but I didn't hear this before. Similar to the Thin Lizzy, but I hear some Led Zeppelin going on, and I don't know why. It's just there's something. There was a moment in there. I wish I wrote down the actual timestamp, but I have to go back to it and listen again. But yeah, the drumming is just unbelievable in this song. Andy is just incredible, and the dual guitar solo. I can't remember the timestamp on it, but fucking phenomenal and probably one of the best I've ever heard in thrash. So good. And the only issue I have with this track is that it's a bit convoluted with everything going on, but I think that was the intention, a mind fuck or mind funk, whatever you want to call it. Killer track.
Well, I wrote this down. It reminds me of Exodus meets Infectious Grooves and somehow Freaky Styley from the Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of gets in there. Nice. And I agree with you 100% because this is another track that I think if Metallica had put this out on load, I would have just thrown it away. But yet, for some reason here, I don't know what it is with this album. I just drawn to it. Maybe I was more younger. I was young. I was only 19. Maybe I was more open-minded. I don't know. But maybe the Black Album killed me. I don't know. But this just, I can't believe, and I think it's a cool song. And I didn't write down the timestamp either, but it was like a sliding riff. I don't know if that's a way to describe it.
I think it's at 320, guys.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
320 when that solo, when you start getting, I think that's the timestamp. I'm pretty sure because I've noted that too. I was like, oh, that's like it stood out to me as well. Yeah, funk. Okay, you got the funk. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of funk either, but this band, like, it's part of their roots. I don't think they were really cut out to be just mainly a thrash band. I think their roots. It's obvious that their roots here come through, and maybe they are comparable to Suicide.
But question, because I don't remember, did Frolic or Ultraviolence flirt with funk at all? Because I don't remember.
Frolic was the start of it.
Frolic was the start.
Board. It's got that. It's got that really groovy riff in it.
Yeah.
So to me, that was where they started. Because when I first heard that song, I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And I think that's why I was attracted to the song because it was like, and it's like, oh, okay, this is new. Yeah. Sort of like Cherry Orchards in a way. I mean, I don't want to compare the two, but
no, but it's new.
About
it's
that
new.
Just like I heard, like, what is that?
It's different.
Yeah. So you could, I think they started it on that album with Frolic, and then they sort of moved it here. But what they do here though is that it's a lot more. The sound is a lot more mature.
Yes.
So it kind of works better here. And I there's all kinds of breakdowns and then they do this and they do that. But I don't know. They make it work. Sometimes the song gets a little convoluted because you're trying to jam so much into like 3 to 4 minutes. And let's be honest, these songs are short. They're not long songs.
No.
They didn't write long overdrawn songs. So I find that for me kind of interesting.
So they had to pack everything in. So
right. That's what I'm saying. Like I just kind of think, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. It's great. My ears are all over the map because you hear this, you hear that.
It's never an uninteresting listen. Each time you go back to it.
It's never boring, dude. You're right. It's not a boring. It's a great album if you really want to sit down and hear individual parts. I think.
Yeah.
This is a really good song too. I don't mind the song at all.
And that's a great point. I listened to it with my Bose headphones on, and I mean, I got a really cool experience out of it. Maybe the 8 beer helped, but regardless, I think that it sounded so cool on my system. I haven't listened to this in a while either. So
yeah,
wicked. Wicked. Well, Ken, take us away with number 6 with A Room with a View.
Yeah, this is like an incredible song for me.
Yeah.
Rob wrote the lyrics and the music. This again, it defies all logic because you wouldn't think a thrash band to write this kind. I mean, this is like kind of what Metallica kind of became later on, like these kind of songs, but they do it here and they do it so well.
Yeah.
You know, like I just love how it's so reflective and it's introspective, and it's definitely a ballad for sure. And I just love the fact that it's just they're the whole point of the song is you're looking out the window and you're looking at life and you're wondering where things are. Like I don't know what thrash band would have wrote this kind of a song, but I love it. I think this is like the chorus is so good, A Room with a View, and I love the way that Mark sings the song. He does puts a bit of gusto here into it, and it just works. I just love the way it works with the mood. It's kind of bittersweet. It's very melancholic at times. I even like the fact there's the backing vocals is the one thing I would point out that I know Dennis Peppa does some of the backing vocals here, and it really works. It's a really strong song. You don't get it's not thrash, but I like it. I could listen to the song a lot. Actually, I could probably listen to the song 3 or 4 times and still get a lot out of it for me.
And for me at 2:30, the song doesn't necessarily get heavier. No. I find it gets thicker and maybe a bit doomy. And I really like that. I don't know. I think it's my favorite song on the album. I love it.
It's a song.
Jason, what's your thoughts?
Love it. But let me ask you guys this.
Sure.
Who, out of all the grunge bands, who's the darkest, most melancholic?
I don't know. Alice in Chains was pretty dark.
Yeah, I love AIC.
This reminds me of Alice in Chains.
Does it? Okay.
Absolutely. Like when I listen to it, the vibe of it.
Like the Rooster, kind of?
Yeah, like Rooster or something. Like just a dark, brooding Alice in Chains tune. Even if it's from was it Man in the Box? Was that the
Facelift?
Facelift. Yeah.
Or even Dirt.
Yeah, Dirt. This has that vibe to me. Even Mark's vocals at some points, he croons, and he croons not unlike Elaine Staley or an Eddie Vedder. And I don't know if this, I'm not up on my grunge. Is this pre-grunge? Is this post-grunge? This album?
Yeah, this would be pre-grunge.
Pre.
Yeah.
I think Facelift came out in 90.
Okay. Yeah.
And Soundgarden was also coming out in 90. Yeah, so it's kind of at the start of it, but
yeah, I mean, I think this fits that mold. I love this track. It's easily my favorite ballad from a thrash band.
Yeah,
you know, it fucking blows away the ballad by far. Just in a completely different way, you know. Along with Darkest Hour, this is probably Darkest Hour, this is probably my favorite. So yeah, they just this is the highlight of the album for me, and it always will be. So
nice. Yeah, I think. Yeah, like the ballad, you're kind of, I think Chuck's voice was like, what the hell, you know, it just didn't suit. And maybe the video as well, as we spoke about, didn't really kind of left a bad taste for your eyes. But I think that I agree with you guys. This is just one killer. And I really love the comparison or the similarities with Alice in Chains, because I'm even thinking off of the Three-Legged Dog album there. There's some tracks on there.
Or Jar of Flies.
Yeah.
You know?
Or Jar of Flies, yeah. Wicked. I love stuff. AIC. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's wicked. So Jason, head us into Stagnant.
Stagnant, it is not. You know, another track that has a pretty prominent Anthrax stomp, especially the first 30 seconds. You know, then we are hit with some crazy off kilter and odd timing stuff going on. The riff that starts when the vocals come in, it's just another super awesome foray into funk territory. You know, this song kind of demonstrates to me the one problem I have with this album, and that there is no consistency. It's a bit everywhere. That said, their talent as both musicians and songwriters is at its absolute most prominent when they're kind of flying off in all directions. So I might, even though there isn't a consistency here for me, there, as far as like thrash, like it isn't consistently thrash. It's everywhere else and it's thrash. It just displays, this song in particular just displays how incredible they are as songwriters, and how how um how far more talented they are than just thrash guys.
Yeah.
That's good point. Good point. Ken,
Not that thrash guys aren't talented.
No.
No. Yeah, this has like a, for sure there's like a huge Anthrax vibe here. I noted that right away with the chug and the style of it. But yeah, it's as Jason said, it's not stagnant at all. There's nothing stagnant about this song. Even though the lyrics are kind of angry, because they're kind of upset about life being stagnant, no change. So I kind of like that they interject a little bit of anger in the song for me. Like I picked up the anger. But yeah, this has some nice tempo changes. Like Mark's vocals are fantastic. I know they break in late in the song, but man, when he gets going, he just adds that soul to his voice. Oh, I love it. And the chorus is great too. Like it's, there's a lot of huge chugs. I think the Anthrax chug is what I picked up the most, but I like the song as well. It's a solid song that Rob wrote the music, and then he co-wrote. No, he wrote the lyrics and he co-wrote the music with Andy. So again,
this is his second writing credit on the album.
Yeah. It's like the two guy main songwriters here, because Andy also mixed this album as well. So I mean,
interesting.
18-year-old kid mixing an album like that, it's unheard of to me. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, you think he's 3 albums in, and he still hasn't been able. He's been playing in bars where you can't even drink.
Yeah. He was like 14 or 12 when he started in the band. It's crazy. So he's an, immensely gifted person.
Oh yeah. Well, Ken, take us into XTC, Ecstasy, or EXTC, however you want to call it.
Yeah, this is all right. I mean, it's Rob wrote the lyrics and the music to it. It's interesting. It's all about like embracing the unknown. So you're looking for identity, and you get all that in the lyrics, which is what I like. It's short. It's not a very long song. A lot of heavy chubs. I like the vocals are a bit robust here. I kind of like that for me. I just think it's one of those kind of really, it's a heavy short song, but I kind of like it. So it's a good solid thrasher. I can't say it blows me away. I do like the fact that Mark adds on that scream at the end. Not like a huge overbearing scream, but it's like, okay, here's a little bit of energy, because like on the first two, especially the first couple albums, he had a lot of more energy with his voice. Here is, he pulls back a lot on a lot of the screams and stuff. But I like that you get a little bit of more robust style on this song. But the song is okay. I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I agree. I like the fact that the vocals cut in right away. It's a little different than the songs that have been leading up to, where some of them, maybe it's even a minute and a half before his vocals cut in. I like how they kind of get to business right away and they get the song going. But yeah, it's a cool song. I think it's great. Again, they're kind of circling, or not really circling, but going in kind of this weird wavy thing where now they have more of a thrash root song. So Jason, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Ken here about Mark's robust style on this song. I think, to me, he was channeling his inner Dio on this track at points, really just belting it, and really superb job from him on this track. Musically, yeah, it has some old school sounding Metallica riffing that works really well. That main riff, it sounds an awful lot very similar to Creeping Death. If you go back and listen to it, there's something about it. Not a direct ripoff, but they're structured a little bit differently, but some of the same chord progressions, almost too similar. Though the track is quite thrashy, I think it still has a bit of that funk thing, especially with the bass. If you isolate the bass in the background, it's really slap of the bass going on with the bottom end. Yeah, I do dig this track. It's solid.
Wicked. Well, track 9, Disturbing the Peace, is one of my probably in my top 3, I would say, on this album. I love this song. I love that bass intro. It's another heavy track, and this gives me a huge Suicidal Tendencies vibe on it. You know, and even the vocals have kind of a Mike Muir kind of trick to them, even though it's Mark Sega's voice. I find there's a Muir almost kind of a tribute there, even though I don't think it was meant to be that. But I mean, and I think probably where I'm getting the Suicidal vibe is that it's the bass line throughout the whole song has got that. It's just, and that's so prevalent, and especially like, you know, the Torillo Suicidal Tendency bass lines that he had done. And I think that's probably where it's really drawing me in. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. Jason, what's your thoughts on Disturbing the Peace?
You're spot on. I think as I was listening, I thought Suicidal as well. I have it noted here. And also I have Crossover. Just this is probably the most crossover thrash track on the album, and I fucking love that. The gang chants at the end, very nice touch. Love the chorus. One of the best choruses on the album, along with the chorus and the organization. This is just a fantastic song, probably my second favorite song on the album.
Wicked. Ken, I know you're into Disturbing the Peace. You gotta be.
Yeah, no, I like this song as well. I mean, obviously we're all picking up on the same thing of you know, suicidal tendencies. I also think the lyrics reflect that, because, you know, like Rob wrote this, he wrote the music and the lyrics, and he's talking about, you know, channeling frustration, rebellion, and the whole idea of like being aware of society. So it's kind of a song that Mike would definitely write. So I could see the comparisons there. But yeah, you know, it's solid. It's got a really nice heavy crunch, I think, throughout the song for me. And yeah, I agree with Jason. The chorus is really, really good. But yeah, it's another solid song. There's no denying that.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think it's, you know, again, too, we talk about, this is kind of almost like it's so kind of got that funk, but for some reason I really like it. And I think, you know, I don't know, it's just weird. This album just really scratches that itch that, you know, I didn't think, I'm looking back into it now and really getting into it over the last week or so. Just like, wow, I was blown away with how cutting edge this album is. Ken, take us through Falling Asleep. This is a pretty cool one.
Yeah, it's a solid song to end off the album. I mean, again, Rob takes the lead. He's got the lyrics and the music, so obviously he's like the main songwriter in this band. But yeah, it's great. You know, you get that little like charm box little thing going off at the start. Then you get that really heavy bass line, which kind of comes in, which I like. And then you get the groove, of course. You get that kind of groovy riff. So I like that. It's got a nice tone. The pace gets going at like 130. It moves up. It gets really good. The catchy chorus is great. But there's one part where Mark's vocals get a little processed, or I can't.
Is it that spoken word thing, kind of?
Yeah. But I don't know if I like that so much. It's probably the only negative bit to the song I did not like. But then, you know, when he takes over and he's got that scream and he's just going on, it's great. Like it's a solid song. But just that one little bit I wasn't really fond over. But yeah, I like the song a lot. It's to end off the album. It may not be as good as the opener, but it's, you know, it's a good complimentary song.
And I mean, the vocals cut in at like 157,
That's
so
right. Yeah.
You're really walking around here for a while. But that's the only thing that I found. I don't know if it's a spoken word or he's kind of doing, I don't know what it is, but maybe there's an effect there. But then he shriek, you know, it leads into that whole shriek he does, which kind of resets it. I kind of like that. And I wasn't that keen on that kind of weird thing as well.
Yeah.
Jason, to finish off the album, what's your thoughts on the last track?
Yeah, I love the mood of this one. It's a bit darker. Rips are heavy as fuck. Also kind of has a slight prog metal like atmosphere threaded throughout, which wasn't prevalent in the rest of the album as much as in this song. I had to listen a few times to pick it out. I like the build up. You guys are talking about the spoken word part, but I love that build up, you know,
like that?
where maybe the effect is a little weird like you're talking about, but what I like about it is there's a build up with the spoken part, which, continues into like the super killer climax with the groove chug and some killer Hammett-like solos. So I think it's a nice dichotomy having his spoken part, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds, similar to what James did with Enter Sandman, with the spoken part in the middle there. A little bit different, but similar dynamics. I like that about the song. Yeah, killer song to end off a fantastic album.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the album pretty much in a nutshell. But I got to tell you, this, if anybody out there hasn't listened to this album that's tuning in, definitely, I mean, the first two albums are amazing, but, and Frolic, as Ken said, definitely leads you into this territory. But this is just one hell of an album. And, I definitely would be in my top 20 albums of all time. I think it would have that for sure. What are your guys' like, if you were to rate the album, what would you rate it?
I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's, I agree, Jason, it's not perfect. Like structurally, it's all over the map. Like there's a lot going on here. So, I mean, I would never give it a perfect 10. Maybe 9, 8.5 to 9. Like I love it, but yeah, I agree with Jason. It's all over the map.
Is it your favorite Death Angel album for the two of you? Would you say?
To be honest with you, no.
No,
I like
neither.
it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because when I Fall to the Park is my favorite album. I just sometimes you hear something and it just sticks with you, right? Like when I heard Bored, it was one of those things where it's like, what the hell? I loved it. It just clicked with me. Some albums just click with you, and that's how they are. Like I have people say, well, that's not a great album, and it may be not to some people, but to me, Frolic was just something I liked. I mean, it had some solid songs. Welcome to the Third Floor. That's a killer thrash tune. And and then you start getting into weird territories like with this. But this album is good. They're maturing as a band, obviously, and maybe at the time this is where they took it to. This is the eventual conclusion of that point in the band's history. They were done.
Yeah.
Sure, okay. We know about the band, the accident with the bus, all that jazz, but maybe that this is what happens. You just took that. You took it to. They were really young when they started. You took it to a natural conclusion. And let's face it, when they did the Ultraviolence, they're kids. Who's making that kind of music when you're like under 20 years old?
Yeah.
I know we talked about it here, Billy and Jim and I. I mean, it's a fantastic album, but you already you set the bar high already on the first album.
Yeah.
You go from there. And obviously the next two show that they I wouldn't say downward spiral, but they've certainly changed from first to this. It's incredible. What a change,
Yeah.
See,
and Jim, your favorite or
my favorite's the Ultraviolence. I'm a little bit more packaged in the sense that I want my thrash to be thrash, although for some reason I'm drawn to this album, and I think I go 1, 2, and 3, and then like 1, 2, and 3, Frolic in the Park would be my second. This would be my third, and then The Evil Divide. I like a lot of the newer releases too. So for me, I don't mind that, and I get where you guys are coming from, where that thrash. I don't like change necessarily, or I'm a little bit more kind of set in my ways with that. I like tweaking, but I mean, for some reason, this album really just hit me in the right spot because, I mean, you could, after listening to the first two, this is kind of almost in some cases, it's a 180 to some degree. And then compared to The Art of Dying, which they kind of reset back to more of a traditional thrash album to some degree. But I mean, the Ultraviolence. I mean, oh my God, that instrumental, that's 10 minutes and 33 seconds for the Ultraviolence, just blows me away. And I'm not a huge instrumental guy, but that's just, I mean, and how lofty to put that on your first album,
Yeah.
And you're under 20.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
crazy.
Under 20 and you're writing that kind of stuff.
I'm just sad we didn't get to see the follow-up to this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And because I think it could have gone two ways. It could have gone good or bad. And by bad, I mean they could have just went full on funk.
That's true.
I mean, or they could have, just continued with what they were doing with Act 3, but improved upon it. and they were becoming better songwriters all the time, obviously. So, obviously the next album would have improved that way as well. But I have a feeling, I don't know, funk metal was big at that time. I have a feeling that might have gone more that route, and I probably had it. I probably wouldn't have liked it as much as this album because this just played with it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's fair to say the next album was actually a live album, Fall from Grace, which had no input from the band. It was, I think, a record label thing. And they didn't even use the Death Angel logo. Like,
wow.
That bothers me. I know, again, stuck in my ways. That's what I hated about Load so much. As soon as I picked it up, I went, wait, this is Metallica. This doesn't have the lightning end caps there. I want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're cut off. No, great discussion, guys. That was awesome. And what a great album. Definitely when you read the reviews from all the large magazines of the time, I think the lowest I seen it get is a 9. And they're looking for cutting edge as well.
So we know the critical response or the critic response. Do we know what the general consensus was with fans at the time? Did anybody happen to research that?
I think it was pretty positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was very positive. Most people liked it.
Yep.
Most people liked it.
Cool.
And I think if you were to poll, most people talk about it as their favorite. I think the first one is a little too heavy for some people, a little too maybe rough. And then the second one was kind of a mix in between.
Yeah, it's a kookiness.
Yeah. And then the third one, everybody thinks that this is their sort of, I think a lot of fans think this is their magnum opus that they come up with. I see that all the time.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we got to do this one.
Yeah. No, this was fun.
Whose pick was this? Oh, it was yours, Jim.
That was mine. Yeah. So we're going to head into, we've been doing this for a while, and I think me and Ken might have done, I'm not sure if we did I know we did favorite albums, so we kind of did a mixtape.
We did a mixtape, Jim, of 1990.
Okay, then even better. So what we're going to do, who wants to go first for their mixtape of 1990?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay. Ken, you've got the helm.
Yeah, it's a pretty diverse. There's a lot of really good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
1990 was a great year for like death metal, just traditional metal, thrash. There's a lot of really good albums, but I always go back to what I was listening to back then that gets me going, like Slayer, Dead Skin Mask. I think that's an incredible song. It's one of my favorite songs on Seasons of the Abyss.
Yeah,
I just love that song. There's just something about that song always gets me when I hear it.
Oh yeah,
it's just spooky, it's creepy. I don't know. It's one of those kind of, especially when you get to the part where it's like, Mr. King, we're coming for you, Mr. I love that part. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a creepy song.
When that kid says, "I don't want to play no more," like he's like, he's locked in a box or whatever.
Yeah, just something about that. When I first heard it, I was like, "Whoa, this is creepy," and it sticks with me. So I like that song. But then I also have King's X, which is a band that I really love. I've seen them live many times. Faith, Hope, and Love is an incredible album. I think it's one of those. It's a really important album when it came out. Again, this is funny. We're talking about Death Angel because I could see Death Angel going in that direction, like with King's X, where they're kind of like soulful. I guess the lyrics are positive. There's a bit of kind of not religious that feeling to it, but it's just got a positive energy. I could see that. And the song Faith, Hope, and Love is an epic 9-minute song, which I think is fantastic.
Great album.
This album, yes, the album is great, but this is a very underrated band. I don't think they ever got the accolades that they should have got. But when this album came out, I was a huge, huge fan. And then I have Destruction. Of course, I have to go Crack Brain. That's why this album is one of my all-time favorite thrash albums for Destruction. The song Crack Brain I love that song. It's such a great song. The album cover blows me away. I just love that. And then I went with Death, so I added Spiritual Healing. So I took the title track, Spiritual Healing, which I like a lot. That's got a lot of highs and lows. It's got some great riffs. I love the vocals. Oh, man. I always thought that this was Chuck's best album for vocals. Something about the way he applied the vocals here. It's shrill. It's a lot of things, but it's so powerful. Love that. And then I have Prong, so Beg to Differ is one of my. I love that album to death. When it came out, I bought it. Beg to Differ is a great song. I love the video. This band, it's a great band when I first heard this album. And then I put a Frost on here, so I went with Vanity Nemesis. So I went with The Heart Beneath, which I like a lot. Again, I'm a sucker for the female vocals. I always like it when Frost throws that in the song. Works for me. I thought this was somewhat of a comeback record for them. I know a lot of people are still me on it. I like it. I like every Frost album. I'm a huge Frost fan, so I'll admit that. Here's one that may surprise you. I like Rick Emmett. He had his first solo album here. Absolutely. And it's funny because I love Triumph. Triumph is was one of my all-time favorite bands. I actually like Triumph more than I like Rush. For me.
Really?
I did. I love Triumph. Triumph was just the songs, the style writing, it worked for me.
I love Triumph.
When this album came out, I was a little bit reticent about it because it's like, well, okay, I just finished watching. I actually seen the last Triumph concert when they called it quits, which was a shocker to me because I went to the show, Kingswood Movie Theater, had a great time at Kansas Wonderland. It was a great show. Brighton Rock opened up for them. It was fantastic.
Oh, cool.
And then they announced this, they're splitting up and Rick puts out a solo record. So I'm like, all right. First song, Drive Time, that song is just one fucking killer song. Shows off all his licks. This is Rick Emmett at his best. But the rest of the album is kind of okay. I mean, I don't mind the album, but it's missing that one ingredient when you have three guys that are sitting in a room making music, and then you get this. But I like the song, so this is one album I have on my list for sure. But it's just I liked it. And then Anthrax, Keep It in the Family, which I think was the heaviest song on Persistence for me. I totally love the meaning behind the song about racial prejudice and how it grows up in families. I think it's great. It's a fantastic song. And who doesn't love Megadeth, like Hangar 18, like that? I think that's a fantastic song. Rust in Peace is just a thrash classic.
Yeah.
And then this is another song that I also really liked, and I saw this. I actually seen this tour when Bruce Dickinson put out his first solo record, Tattooed Millionaire. I love that song. Tattooed Millionaire is such a great song. I saw them live at Rock and Roll Heaven in Toronto. Fantastic show. I was blown away by that. This is Bruce doing something that you don't expect from him being an Iron Maiden. But I think it's a great song. I love this album. I still listen to it to this day. Out of all his albums, this one I think I still like the most. It's like a traditional metal album. It's it's not Iron Maiden, but it's I don't know. I like the album quite a bit. Well, that's my 10 songs.
Awesome. We have a couple from the same albums, and a couple songs. Obviously one that's 100% right on, which I mean is Dead Skin Mask is going to hit my list. But Jason, go ahead. What have you got there? I can't wait to hear yours as well.
Well, my number one, again, 1990 is such an incredible year. Probably, I think it was the year that I truly discovered death metal.
Nice.
So, coming from thrash to death metal was quite the change. And I can remember this album, picking it up in Detroit on a trip over the border with my mom and my sister. And they had a really cool record store in Detroit, and used to go for all my thrash albums, cassettes and LPs at the time. But they had this on display, and it was a Deicide self-titled album.
Yes.
And
yes.
And I'm going to pick the song Dead by Dawn because it's the first
good song.
Killer fucking track by these guys. The whole album's great. Hard to pick a song. But I remember getting the cassette, putting it in my Walkman on the way home, and being scared shitless and just thinking, what the hell is this shit? And took it out because I was like, I cannot. And then of course, a week later I put it on and slowly acclimated myself to Deicide. But so again, these tracks are from my mind in 1990, not from me today looking back at 1990, but like actually, And then the second album I bought on that trip was Obituary's Cause of Death.
Yes.
And the track I would pick from that, it didn't scare me as much as the Deicide, believe it or not. I don't know if that speaks to Obituary's grooviness as opposed to Deicide's just full throttle insanity, satanicness. But Infected is my favorite track after that,
Great
so
track.
that would go on my mixtape. Hard to pick again, but I also love the cover song on that album. Fucking Circle of the Tyrants is, they do an incredible cover, one of the best covers ever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And like Ken, number 3, Death, Spiritual Healing. After I had acclimated to death metal, I picked this up a little later, probably a month or 2, maybe 3 months later, and absolutely love the title track. Again, this is so many good songs on that album, just a fantastic album. Another death metal album. I remember at this point in 1990, I was fully invested in death metal. And I knew my mom and aunt were going over to Detroit to do some shopping. I'm like, Mom, you got to get me this album. I couldn't make it on that trip. So it was Entombed, Left Hand Path. And my mom picked it up for me and brought it back and absolutely fell in love with that album. Again, another album full of great tracks, but I would pick the track Drowned.
Okay.
And then Megadeth, rest in peace. Even though I was in love with death metal at this point, I still have my thrash, and Megadeth Hangar 18 would probably be the track that would go on this album. Another album that has hard to pick a song.
Yeah.
And then Season of the Abyss, Slayer. Absolutely love that album. I remember that summer at our family trailer up in Grand Bend, Ontario, picking up the guitar tablature book for this album and spending the whole summer learning the album front to
Nice.
back on guitar. And absolutely out of knowing all those tracks, learning all those tracks on guitar, Expendable Youth was my favorite to play. And I think I would pick that track for my mixtape.
Cool.
Number
Okay.
7 would be Forbidden, Twisted into Form. Love
Oh,
that
yeah.
album.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Yep. And I would pick the first single and video, Step by Step. Not the new kids version, not the new kids version, but the Forbidden version. Such an incredible tune. I have a lot of fond memories of this album. And then number 8, Prong, Beg to Differ. We did this one.
Yes, we
The
did.
Thrashcast.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, I would pick the title track for this. One of my favorite
Differ?
albums
Yeah,
of all time.
I agree with you
Yeah.
there, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. And then number 9, Anthrax, Persistence of Time. Had a lot of fun with this album in 1990 and for quite a few years after, and even today. Still think it's their darkest album, their best album, in my opinion. And Belly of the Beast is my favorite Anthrax song, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
picking
good
that
one.
one. Yeah. And then number 10, Suicidal. Fuck, that was my summer
Yeah.
album of 90. Oh God, I love that album so much. I just remember partying to that album quite often, and it was always on me and my friends that summer. I hope it came out in summer because maybe it was 91 that we were
No.
playing it in the summer,
I
but
think it
Yeah.
was, yeah, 19,
yeah,
you're right, 1990.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And the lead-off track, You
Can't
Will
bring me.
Yes,
Bring Me Down. Oh,
everyone
fuck.
loves that song.
Oh God, it's such a good suicidal song. And then I have like one kind of honorable mention, and I
Oh,
couldn't pick a song from it because I love this album so much. And it is CIA. Do you guys remember CIA?
I think
No.
In the Red. It was Glenn Evans from Nuclear Blast, his side project.
Oh.
I think
And
okay, I think I've heard of it.
yeah, and Dan Lilliker was part of it.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah,
Lilliker,
For
yeah,
Brutal
yeah.
that rings
Truth
a bell.
and
That rings
Nuclear.
a bell.
Anthony Bramante on lead guitar,
Yeah,
and John Connolly from Nuclear Blast did a bunch of backing vocals. And you guys have probably seen the album cover. It's like the front of the album has like, remember on a stereo you had the 2 meters
yeah,
and
Yes.
the thing would go like that if it got
yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
loud. That's on the cover and it's kind of purple.
I think I've
And
seen it. Yeah.
oh, it's such a good album. It's like if Nuclear Assault meets Suicidal Tendencies
Well, I'll have to
meets
go back and hear that.
Yeah.
meets a bunch of other things.
Okay.
It's I couldn't pick a song off of it because I love that album so much. And it was probably
Okay.
my album of 1990. So
Okay.
yeah, that's that's my my
It's a
list.
good list, Jason.
We had a couple exact samers on here and a few albums. So
Nice.
no, wicked. I mean, how can you not? It was such a banner year. So to start off with mine, Megadeth, Rust in Peace. I went with Holy Wars, but again, could have picked anything off this album. I think Megadeth's probably my all-time. Metallica's my favorite all-time thrash band, only on the top four, the first four albums. But this is probably my my favorite straight through because their stuff is so strong. Number two, Ken, I went with you, Dead Skin Mask. Holy cow, that song is just so freaky. I mean, I love it. I also like Hollowed Point off of that album. I think
War
that's
Ensemble, Jim. I think it's a good song.
Yeah. And I also like Skeletons of Society. I think it's on that album too. It's a great track. But amazing. Anyways, number three, Jason, we had the exact same. You Can't Bring Me Down, Suicidal. I mean, what an opening track to an album.
Yeah.
And just
fantastic.
You know, and that's technically the first album. I mean, there was the mix EP before that, where Torillo had a full length album under his belt. So before that, it would have been Bob Heathcote for the How Can I Laugh? So that's pretty cool. Oh man, gotta go with Spiritual Healing, Death. I went with Living Monstrosity, but this album is gold. And I remember picking, I think I had Leprosy first, and this just, I mean, these albums are just so meaningful to me. Ken, really neat. I went with a Bruce Dickinson off of Tattooed Millionaire, but I went with Born in '58.
Oh, that's
Love
a good
that song.
Yeah.
Oh,
the whole album's good. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a kind of a diverse Maiden side project that it really new wave of British heavy metal, but still really cool. I mean, I think he did the cover of All the Young Dudes on that as well. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Number six, I went with Sacrifice. Gotta go with Soldiers. I went with the cover track, or the actual the title track, Soldiers of Misfortune. Love that album. Holy cow! I need to get their new album, but I can only find it for $56 on CD, and I ain't paying that.
Yeah, it's retarded.
$56.
Oh yeah.
What's the issue there? What doesn't even make sense?
It's just limited distribution.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, the one Tom did for Allfather there, the review he did for the album there, The Rods.
Yeah.
I can't. So the new album is $59 on Amazon.ca
for The Rods. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Maybe Tom can hook you up. I think he knows those guys.
He hooked me up with the drummer to his contact information, so I'm going to reach out.
Yeah.
I don't mind paying for stuff, but like, holy cow, for a CD, and I think I paid that for that Black Sabbath, Tony Martin era albums, all of them except for the one. You know,
yeah, no, that's just insanity.
It's getting crazy, guys. Anyways, number 7, Step by Step, Forbidden. I remember picking up Twisted into Form, and I remember going, what is this? And the guy at the record store kind of reminds me a bit of you guys at the time. You know, he would have been an old guy. No, I'm just kidding. An older guy. And he was there, and he's like, you got to check this band out. You're in here all the time buying metal. Check this out. And he was spot on. That was a wicked album. Then my number 8, huge Pantera fan. I love Cowboys from Hell. I go with Cemetery Gates. That is such a cool song. I know Pantera gets a lot of hate, but I love Pantera, and I think that they're touring right now is really cool. I've seen a lot of the live clips, and holy shit, they're just it's just, I mean, it's so sad what happened, but I'm glad new fans are able to kind of see what this was about.
And Philly is pulling it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 9, I go with Alice in Chains, Facelift. I went with Man in the Box. I mean, that when grunge was coming out, I never considered this a grunge album. I consider it more of a metal album in grunge kind of cheap clothing. You know, I really think I just think it's really cool. I love the band. Shame what happened there too, you know, with Lane and then eventually Mike Starr. But still, I mean, wow, what a band. And number
It's
10,
funny. Oh, I was just going to mention about
yeah.
Alice in Chains. I had never heard them in '90. Like
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear them till later
Okay.
on, probably until Dirt came out. But
Right.
no, that I'm lying. So I did see them on the Clash of the Titans tour in Toronto because they were the openers for Slayer, Megadeth, and I believe it was Anthrax.
Mhm.
Anthrax, yeah.
And I remember they just got booed the
Yeah.
entire time. People were just chanting Slayer,
Yeah.
Slayer. And obviously those bands probably obviously loved Alice in Chains because they brought them on tour.
Yeah, yeah.
So Tom Araya came out during their set and said, if you don't shut the fuck up, we're not going to play tonight. And I
Really?
thought that, yeah, and I thought that was really cool. I thought
Yeah,
that was
Tom's a
cool for
cool
him to
guy,
do
man.
that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience on, I had
Wow.
no idea who they were. I remember two guys up at the front because it was an outdoor show during the day. And they were the only two guys with Alice in Chains shirt on dancing around while they were playing. And everyone else was just Slayer. You couldn't even hear them because of the chants. And then
Wow.
Tom came running up in his golf cart. You could see because you're facing, you see this golf cart just flying up behind the stage. And then he runs up on stage and says, shut the fuck up. Pay some respect. Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's classy. I mean, I love AIC and Jar of Flies, probably one of the best EPs ever made. And Dirt, holy cow! By that time,
Oh,
they were up
yeah.
here. I mean, I like them better than Nirvana. I mean, you know.
Oh, me too.
I,
Absolutely.
I'm a Soundgarden fan.
I love Soundgarden too,
Jesus
man.
Christ Pose. That album? Holy
Bad
shit.
Motorfinger.
Yeah, I love that album to death. That's awesome.
But then they did Spoon Man. Come on.
Yeah, but I like that album too. I actually like that album.
Which one's that Black Hole? No, Black Hole Sung.
Superchargers?
Yeah, it's on the same album, yeah.
Yeah,
Unknown is the name of the album.
Super Unknown, yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
And my number 10, my favorite death metal band of all time would be Obituary.
Yep.
So I'm going with, obviously I'm going with Chopped in Half, but any song off this album, and I agree, 100% best cover ever done. Circle of the Tyrants. Yep. My God, dude. And they still do it in their show, and I love it. And nobody gets pissed off that it's a cover because holy cow, that blows me away.
Oh, Jimmy, you would have loved the fucking Obituary show in Toronto there 6 months ago.
They killed that song. Remember, Jason?
Oh, it's fucking
that song was
so
great
good.
live.
Oh, dude, that place went ape shit.
Oh,
ape shit.
Yeah. My buddy
I got to see them on the. So I bought their 2 stream nights. So it was on a Saturday, and a Sunday night. I bought their streams, and then I got a free shirt with it, and they mailed it after the show they did. And oh my God, so it was one they were doing in the studio. So they did the songs for that tour, and then they did all of the World Demise. I think, were they doing all the World Demise on that tour, or was it
no on this last tour? No, it was a mix of shit. Yeah.
So they did the whole World Demise, and then they did the coming up on their upcoming tour, which I think was all a mix of everything. Yeah.
Well, all right, Jimmy. Next time they come to Toronto, you are fucking coming, and we're gonna have
come.
You. Well, they played Cause of Death was the whole point of the tour, right? So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember, because they played the album from front back, but they did.
But then they did do a mix of shit after, right?
Right. They didn't do it actually in order though. They kind of.
That's right. Yeah.
They switched the order up.
I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they did throw a couple more current songs in there.
Which is why they did Circle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I don't know if they typically do Circle live. I've seen them a bunch of times.
Yeah, they do.
But
I think they do.
Yeah.
It was good live.
Man, that is just Obituary, and I totally dig the fact you put Deicide on there because, man, I think you could be at any age. I didn't know Deicide in '90. Obviously, I'm a huge fan now. Probably a few years later, but I mean, when Glenn Benton was going through all the stuff with all the religious fanatics and stuff, I mean, that was great. That just drew me to them big time. God, I love that.
That guy is a master at selling his band, and I think that was he is not who he says he is that way. I don't of course he's got a hatred on for religion, but I also know that he's friends with the one guy that
They used to kind of play off each other. Yeah. And it was said that his channel that he was doing it on, the religious guy always wanted him, and he didn't want to do it, but then he did it because it was more along the lines he had a lot of respect for him back and forth, even though they pretended they didn't like each other.
Yeah. I mean, he grew up in the Bible Belt, so he was around those people all the time, and he just knew how to sell his band.
Yeah, this is a good band.
Oh yeah.
I thought that they just lost Kevin Quirlin.
They did, yeah, and they got
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
in April.
Yeah, it's he's been with them a long time too. So
15 years.
Yeah. I think the last I read was that he couldn't do the touring anymore, and
he wants to spend more time with his family now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, he's got a family. I get it.
Yep.
But that tour was good too. The one from last November. That was a pretty good tour. I like that show. It was a good show.
It was a good show.
Time there.
Well, I think Banished by Sin. I love the video. I think it was for
What? I know the video you're referring to.
Oh my God. I didn't want to put it on my Facebook because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to piss somebody off with this or what. Holy cow. I showed it. My wife's right into true crime, so I knew she'd get a kick out of it. And my wife's sort of she's kind of anti-religion to some degree, like organized religion. So she's very much, she loves, and she's a metalhead too, but more hair metal kind of stuff. So when I played her the video, she's like, that's pretty cool. I mean, I was just like, I like this. And she goes, I don't think she was jazzed about the music, but she thought the video, man, that freaked. The video, actually, I watched it, and I was like, I don't know what I just saw.
I can't remember it. I don't remember it.
Oh, it's pretty gory, dude. I remember it.
People just killing themselves right up to it was almost like jumping off buildings, throwing scissors, and just outside a church. And
I might have never seen it. I don't think I saw it.
I'm a horror guy, so I know I remember it. Well, I remember it burned in my mind when I saw it. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Nasty video.
Oh, and I was like, sometimes I have to just be careful because I mean, everybody does nowadays because you don't want to, you're like, I had to, I work, obviously, I've got to sign a thing stating, can't promote certain, obviously, but it's funny because I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I want to post this so bad. This is kick-ass. But I'm thinking, man, who's going to be, like my mother's on my Facebook. I'm thinking, man, what's she going to be like? What's Jimmy going through? But funny. Watch it, Jason. You got to watch that. You're a horror fanatic. You and Kim.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I feel like I must have seen it, but
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you and Kim have seen it.
It was from the last album, right?
Yeah, it's on the last album.
Yeah.
But it is just rotten. Like I just was like, and this thing actually, I was like goosebumps and just kind of like, what the hell? And then it made me watch more, and I was just like, I watched it again, and I was like, I got to see what I just saw.
Did you guys watch him on the Garza podcast?
No,
Glenn Benton.
No, I missed that. I didn't.
It's really good. You guys should watch it. Just check it up on YouTube. I like the Garza podcast. If you guys
I do too.
Yeah, and he talks about. I didn't know this about him, but he doesn't like death metal. He doesn't listen to death metal. He never has.
That I knew. Yeah, he's mentioned.
He never
that
before. Yeah. He's a classic rock guy.
Yep. That's
wow.
Exactly. Yeah. I've heard that.
And it's not. He does it also so that it doesn't. He's not influenced by anything. So he never got into death metal simply for the fact that he didn't want to be influenced by anyone else. So Deicide is Deicide. I think Steve writes all the music, but still, Glenn, classic rock guy playing death metal.
Jason, is it true? I think I read that they got death threats, or Glenn Benton got death threats from black metal fans when they toured Norway.
Yep.
Oh,
they
wow.
sure did. There was the rivalry was because the black metal guys were like, they started hating on the Western death metal bands because they wore jogging pants and sneakers, and they just didn't like death metal anymore, or for whatever reason they were just more cult now. So they took it out on some of the bigger death metal bands, and Deicide being one of them. Yeah, and then he ended up getting into it with them, and it turned into a whole thing. And also, a Deicide show got bombed in the UK, or
that's right,
somewhere in Europe. Yeah, because of PETA. because he shot a squirrel. Remember, he shot a squirrel
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
one
yeah.
of their DVDs, or supposedly
Oh, okay.
shot one, or
Oh, I
and
didn't know.
yeah, the animal activist group showed up and they bombed the venue.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, geez. Oh, well,
But we
that's
went on a tangent there, but on
yes, we
deicide,
did.
we'll have to do deicide another time.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, guys, that's the end of our show. Ken, you are you're at the helm next week. What have you got for us?
So we're gonna go cover Dark Angel. We have not did a Dark Angel album yet, and of course, to me, the classic is always Darkness Descends,
Yeah.
which is a great album. So we're gonna cover it. I know there, bands coming to town. And I know that the new album came out, so it's a good time to go back and cover the album.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
seems very relevant.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, we haven't done Dark Angel yet. It's one band we haven't covered, and I know everyone loves the classic stuff, and Darkness Descends is a classic album, so
yeah,
we're gonna do that.
very cool.
Wicked.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man. Cool.
Well, guys, I think that's it. Good night to everybody, and have a good night from Thrashcast, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night, guys.
Take care. Thanks.